And welcome to the Daily Space Weather, folks. This is SNN, the least busted name in news. Today we'll be talking about coronal mass ejections and lots of other stuff. Too many things to cover. It's official today. Let's get into it. Starting things out, looking at stereo A to see a coronal mass ejection, not Earth facing. Earth would be off in this direction. Still a great coronal mass ejection. No real opportunity to make measurements of the speed of that one other than from the view at stereo A. If you're wondering where stereo A is located, it's down here at Lagrange point 5. And just so you know, we have approximately 9,000 tabs open today, so you don't have to. So here's the view from the LASCO. And the LASCO is located right here on the Discover at Lagrange point 1, right between the Earth and Sun. And you see what looks a little bit like a halo there? It's nowhere near Earth facing. And here's the view from the C2, a good view of that. Again, nowhere near Earth facing. And next, looking at Helio Viewer, here's the magnetogram. We don't see any sunspots. There is the 304 angstroms view and the 171. And we've got some custom views here. Here's the 304 angstroms, complete with Earth scale. One of the most classic sunny-looking sun-type wavelengths. Very commonly shown, as it shows solar prominences very well. Some minor crown prominences once again showing up in the North Pole area. We've got all kinds of magnetic stuff going on, such as coronal magnetic inversions and major changes in the B field happening as well. We'll get to it. And there's the 171 angstroms view. I'll let that play through one more time for you. Again, keep in mind, folks, here at the smAsh News Network, we do have 9,000 tabs open, and we're hoping to not crash the stacks today. So let's look at some more data here. The 10.7 centimeter radial flux still at 70 solar flux units. And there's the graph of the past 3.5 years or so of the radial flux, one of the other measurements that we use besides sunspot number. So you can see how proportional this is if I zoomed in on that same area. Okay, it's a little tough to zoom in, but you can see how proportional that is, the radial flux versus the sunspot number. The KP index is currently at 1, and we don't see any solar flares or proton spikes on the magnetosphere, or I should say on the ionosphere. That's where the GOES 16 makes its measurements. Next, we'll take a look at the real-time solar wind. And again, we've seen some various magnetic changes going on. We'll get into it in a minute. Very low solar wind density, 1.86 protons per cubic centimeter. And a quite low solar wind speed as well, 321 kilometers a second. And here, this will give you some idea into what such a low density will do. It causes a local low density region to form. And we don't always show the density. Today we're showing it because of this reason. And you can see that very low density solar wind coming in from the left, which makes for very low magnetohydrodynamic pressure. So there's the density, here is the pressure, and not surprisingly very low. We don't see a lot of ground magnetic perturbations. We'll show you 4 hours of data on that too in a moment. Please take a moment to press like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Press the notification bell and tell your friends, foes, science noobs, and science pros about the content. We're making at least one more, possibly two more videos today. There's 4 hours of data on magnetosphere pressure. Going a little closer to home, here are the ground magnetic perturbations, and we actually see some here. It's this time pure magnetism, not induction by solar protons in this particular instance. And welcome to the North Pole current sheet, the heliospheric current sheet. Before we get into more space stuff, looking at the earthly power outages here, and we see over 200,000 in Alabama and Florida alone, 37,000 in Louisiana, and 18,000 in California. And you see some spikiness here in the GOES magnetometer once again. And we'll show you what's going on with that on the next slide. Again, thanks for tuning in to SNN, the least busted name in news, the smAsh News Network, and thanks to smAsh staff for providing the base graphic for that. Next, looking at the Gong 2 data here to show you the top view ecliptic plane field plot. And again, welcome to the North Pole current sheet shown here in green. We've snapped well into it now, as I forecasted yesterday. And indeed, when we made yesterday's video, we were already in the North Pole current sheet, most likely, according to the magnetometer data. Now, we see some perturbations here in the B field again. You can see this big bump on the far side of the sun, as well as some pull down on this region in the east. It's associated with that small active region. No major changes, however. We see some changes in the coronal magnetic field force lines. And this is a new feature that we've been just recently showing on the daily space weather videos. I like the graphic. This one shows closed field force lines, closed potential field force lines in pink, coronal hole field force lines in purple, and open potential field force lines in black. An interesting animation of the corona. Perhaps we'll talk about how that data is derived later. Today's smAsh lights will not be a thing. So today's smAsh lights, if we even make a smAsh lights segment, it will most likely be something having nothing to do with space. We're not going to talk about the Rona particularly much. Maybe not even at all. Now, I like to have the words made in China on my forehead, so keep that in mind. And check out our playlists if you haven't done so on YouTube yet. And also, don't forget to check out smashomash.org. There are a bunch of links there. For instance, you could keep your hair smelling as good as mine by clicking on the affiliate link, as we've dipped our tippy toe into the Amazon affiliate space. Those are all Amazon links there. And we've got the shampoo and the conditioner that I use, both located there, as you want your hair smelling great during a presidential election. You wouldn't want anybody sniffing your hair and not getting the best smells ever. So check it out, smashomash.com/affiliate if you haven't done so. And we're not really going to go into like talking about Rona or anything like that today, so all right, just get rid of that. And let's move on to talk about some cosmology stuff. First, cosmic rays, as they are an important part of the Earth environment and highly misunderstood in terms of climate models. Let's see what's going on at the Apatity and Barentsburg neutron monitors. Slight uptick at Apatity over the past 30 days. And at Barentsburg, flat over the past 30 days. Now, these are very far north. Let's check a cosmic ray monitor much farther south, more consistent with my latitude. And for you new viewers, I'm located in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. The Athens neutron monitor looking quite flat here over the past 30 days. Next, we'll look at Mexico City, going even farther south. and a slight upward tick there. Slight uptrend over the past 30 days at Mexico City. And lastly, we'll look at Oulu, which is in Finland, by the way. And thanks to Ulla Odrup for teaching me how to pronounce the word Oulu. I greatly appreciate it. Oulu's neutron monitor is flat over the past 30 days. And DOMC Antarctica, pretty flat also. DOMB Antarctica not sending data yet. It's winter in Antarctica. If you want to follow these yourself, check out the network of cosmic ray stations, links to cosmic ray data, as cosmology is a massive rabbit hole. And here at the smAsh News Network, we do indeed do cosmology segments. None are on the smAsh News Network playlist yet, but look for that as a thing, as cosmology is sort of an important aspect of science. And we like to enter the rabbit hole when it's productive. So today's featured object is M87. Now we've got a huge cosmology forum at smashomash.com/forum if you haven't checked that out. We've got a thread there on the cosmology forum about the MOST. Have you ever heard of Blazar 3C 454.3? It's just the most luminous object ever imaged. Also, please consider supporting the channel via the links. You can all find it all at smashomash.org, which will redirect you to smashomash.com. Look for sister sites coming soon, as we're growing our organization and making lots and lots of different types of content. Now, again, we're going to be very busy today, and we probably produce at least one more video, most likely two. Again, thanks everybody for tuning in to the live stream if you're viewing on Twitch, or if you viewed the live premiere with us on YouTube. We like to view with our viewers, as keep in mind, folks, I'm not only smAsho, but I'm also a client, and I would be very upset if you didn't press like and subscribe. All right, I'm over it. So, in any case, let's get back to some spaced out data. The electron flux has come off the floor a little bit in the past 24. We don't see any charging hazards, however, no electron storms, and NOAA is forecasting a flat relativistic electron flux. Here's a 3-day greater than or equal to 2 mega electron volts electron flux from the GOES 16. And you can see we just uncratered a little bit and got into normal territory yesterday, and then recratered. Very low levels of electron flux. Here's a visualization of the air column going all the way to the thermosphere. This will give you an idea of what your GPS satellites will be doing, and there won't be a lot of errors today, most likely, even around the equator. Yeah, pretty low levels of electron flux. Let's look at another layer of the atmosphere, just the ionosphere layer. Instead of the total air column, how about just the ionosphere? And we see a very discharged sun-facing side at portions of the 24 hours. And you can see the way the South Atlantic anomaly affects things as well. We used to only show 6 hours of this, and now we show the full 24-hour, one-day footage to give folks a better idea of what's going on in the ionosphere. There's the latest image. It's from 10:45 Universal Time. We're a little bit late today. And here's what's going on in the solar system. There's where we anticipate things to be in a week. An equilateral triangle forming between Venus, Mercury, and the Earth has caused people to become very scared and spooked, as shapes in space are scary, something that we've learned by watching fully COVIDiotic videos on YouTube. If you get up before dawn, you should be able to see Venus if you've got a good view of a clear sky on the ecliptic. There's been a 6.9 magnitude earthquake at the central mid-Atlantic ridge. No tsunami warning, watch, advisory, or threat have been issued. Let's go down the list of the past 24. Also, a 5.9 struck Crete. How about that? And scrolling up the list, here's a deep quake at Papua New Guinea. Okay, I wasn't too far off. Papua New Guinea sees a 5.2 magnitude at 136 kilometers. And there's that central mid-Atlantic ridgequake. It came in at 21:43 Universal Time. And there's a location of that. In between Africa and South America. Small deep quake in Alaska. We've seen quite a lot there in the southern portion of Alaska. It's at a small magnitude. And LA saw a 4.5 magnitude quake. Here's a location of that. Just north of Anaheim. Please leave us a comment if you felt that in Pasadena, Long Beach, or any place in California. That's a significant quake. Not too deadly. The building codes are pretty strict there. Here's a deep quake at Chile in western South America, and let's check volcanoes from Volcano Discovery. Tocono is exploding. It's producing a 7,000-foot plume of ash. And let me just check the life of the stream here at the smAsh News Network. And everything is going pretty smoothly here, despite the fact that I have 94 tabs open. I'm exaggerating, folks. Sangay is also exploding. Flight level 210, 21,000 feet, is the altitude above sea level of that ash plume. Revenador exploding as well. Flight level 160, Sabancaya exploding. Flight level 230. It's a 23,000-foot ash plume. Please do not attempt to tightrope walk over the Sabancaya caldera. Please leave a comment if you remember us covering a story about a guy who did tightrope walk over a caldera. Weather.gov is showing us hard freeze warnings even in north central Pennsylvania here, northern New York, Maine, and Michigan. Youch. As well as some air quality advisories. Also some issues with more flooding on the way. We're going to skip AccuWeather today and move straight to Tropical Tidbits, which is forecasting another, 2 feet of rain for southern Louisiana there. So that's the forecast through 6 o'clock Universal Time on Saturday, September 26th. Major rain on the Gulf Coast there, especially Louisiana. Southern Louisiana adding insult to injury. It's going to be a bad time for Louisiana. By the way, thanks to our subscribe stars, as well as to our Patreons, the true source of funding for the content. If you want some extra stuff and some early heads ups, consider becoming a Patreon, patreon.com/smAshomash. You'll get the latest and greatest graphics, audio files, etc. And again, thanks to our patrons for being the true source of funding for the content. Tell your friends and foes, tell your science noobs and your science pros to consider funding us at patreon.com/smAshomash, as we've got a lot of things to do in the year 2020. And we're not done yet. Let's go into some more weather stuff. Here are the jet streams of the Western world. And you're going to hear about how Greenland must be melting because there's air coming from the south hitting the very southern tip of Greenland, and somebody's going to say, oh my God, Greenland is melting. Oh my God, we're all going to die because Greenland is melting and the earth is going to heat up, something that's not dangerous in the first place. Yeah, sea level rise, it's not dangerous in the slightest. However, opening up farming in northern Canada and Siberia is advantageous to mankind. So if the planet would get warmer, it really would be no danger to anybody. Just putting facts out there, folks. And check out the weird situation going on over the northern Caribbean. Some oddities out there. Let's check the surface winds for once. And there you see the source of the oddities, an indication that we may see this thing strengthen. Although we don't see a clockwise rotation, that's a good thing. Surface winds and back to flight level 250, 25,000 feet. Here are the jet streams of the eastern world. And we've got some more weather data to show you here. Let's get on with it. And that is quite a powerful jet stream down there. Check that out. That is some serious jet stream concentration going on. Surface winds sort of all over the place. And there's some clockwise rotation right north of Antarctica there. Jet stream level. Powerful jet streams in the south. Shout out to our European and African viewers. There are your water vapor maps. Shout out to our Far Eastern viewers in Oceania. Please leave us a comment if you're in the Orient. Hopefully that's not a racist term. Next, we're going to show you the view of the Americas. And there is the water vapor situation. We do have some dry air in the trailing edge of this thing. That's probably part of the reason why we don't see a major jet stream level clockwise rotation. Also an atmospheric river here in the North Atlantic. A quality atmospheric river there. Kind of a lengthy low pressure zone, it looks like. Speaking of low pressure zones, here are the pressure situations. We're going to allow this to advance into the GFS forecast. There's where we expect things to be at 12 noon my time tomorrow. High pressure centered over the northeastern U.S. and southeastern Canada. Windy.com, they have a great mobile app. Next, lightningmaps.org, I want to see where lightning's striking. And a lone bolt just struck in Nevada. Check it out, there's the propagation. Lightningmaps.org, next time you hear thunder. Hey, Humboldt National Forest, there's thunder rolling through. And here's the U.S. Doppler radar map. Some more rain falling in southern Louisiana. Sorry about that. Bad times. Hopefully everybody is dry or evacuated. Here's what's going on in the cloud there. It's pretty dark where I am. Actually, it's light now. And this is what happens when you make the video as late as we did today. It doesn't make me mad at all. It just makes me make sure that I'm covering the correct stuff. Here's a water vapor map, and we're going to zoom in on that area there since there is ample reason to do so. This is the point of least resistance, and it looks like a lot of that rain has fallen in the Gulf already. That's a good sign. And you can see this air is being forced to go in this direction because we've got dry massive air down here and dry massive air up here, leaving only one route. And hey, smAsh team, thanks for tuning in. We've got 3 more bonus features, so keep your head and arms inside the smAsh plane at all times, because we're going to show you an SDO video of the local yellow dwarf, otherwise known as Sol, or perhaps you'd prefer to refer to it as the sun. We're going to show you the colorized magnetogram and the intensitygram, just in case there are sunspots. Hint, there aren't. The closest thing we have to one is this active region down here. It's barely even a plage. Here's the intensitygram, and there is nothing to see down there. There's your zoom in. And here is your 193 angstroms view of the local yellow dwarf. Welcome to cosmology and the Neo-Renaissance. Look for more content coming soon. Thanks again for tuning in. Remember, stare at the sun, don't drink, and if you do, don't drive. And by the way, it'll never be now again. Were you aware? And hey, may that solar wind be at your back and that covidiousy absent from your location.